practiced for and worked for and studied for and went to school for and grinded and practiced more and grinded and practiced some more and put all of our efforts into it, and we reach that place. I want to talk about that place. Climbing the mountaintop, I want to talk about the mountaintop. We can talk a lot about the valley, we can talk a lot about the climb, but today I want to talk about the mountaintop and ask what it's like. Because a few of us have reached for certain things and we've achieved it. Maybe that goal was a certain car. Maybe it was a dream car. Maybe it was a dream house. Maybe it was a marriage. If I just got into, if I were married, everything would be fixed. Everything would be wonderful. And then after I'm married, it's, well, maybe children will make it even better. And then after children, maybe the dream house, or maybe it works in reverse order to that, or some. We try to achieve these things, and very frequently there is this enigma that's kind of beyond explanation. And we stand on the mountaintop, the place from which we viewed from the valley at one time, and from the mountaintop we sing along with you too, that I still haven't found what I'm looking for. And the dream that comes true, like the house payment, well, I didn't think about that when I wanted the house. And I remember getting a car that I wanted. I'll never forget, and the activity that preceded this, my dad used some of his wisdom in telling me, because I wanted a Datsun 280Z. I think Datsuns have become what they've become. They've become something else now. Nissan, okay. Oh, I have a Nissan, okay. I have a Datsun. How cool. I wanted a Datsun 280Z. It was a two-seater. It was the coolest thing in the world at that time. And it had this really long front end and this really short back end, and there were only 2 seats in it. And I found one in Stockton that I foamed at the mouth over. I wanted it. I had to have that car, the payments, I could afford it. It was exactly what I wanted. Natalie and I just got married. And I wanted to live it up a little, and my dad pops my balloon and he said, "So where are you going to put the kid?" Well, that's not going to happen for a while. And you know what? It did. And if I had that Datsun, and I didn't, he talked me out of it. But if I had achieved that dream, it would have become a nightmare. So very often we reach for things maybe we didn't plan for what it was going to be once we got there. Very frequently we get the dream home, or we get the dream car, we get the achievement, we get the medal at the Olympics, metaphorically. We achieve the achievement, and we get there and say, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, because I thought for sure that once I got here, all of my troubles would go away. Speaking of Tiger Woods, one of the very interesting things that I heard him say one time was one of the most amazing days of his life, one of the most enjoyable periods of time, and he filed this disclaimer. He said, I know this could sound disrespectful because of what followed. The 3 of the best days of my life were the 3 days that followed 9/11. He was in New York playing a golf tournament. And the tournament was canceled and he had to go home to Florida. There were no flights, and so he had to rent a car. And he said for 3 days, no one cared who I was. No one stopped me at the gas station and asked for my autograph. He said, I actually got to live like a regular person. And he said, I forgot how cool it was for nobody to recognize me. And it's amazing that we hear those words and we say, well, yeah, that's for them. But do you know, very frequently we can apply those to our lives, because we get into this place, we land the dream job, we get the promotion. If I can just get this promotion, if I can just get to this wage. One of the amazing financial things of life is that if I can just make this amount of money, then all of my problems will be solved. And do you know that has never yet happened? It hasn't. No one has ever made enough money to solve their problems. No one has ever made enough money to be able to afford what they want. Do you know there are actually major athletes in this country who make in excess, when you combine the endorsement deals that they have, where they make in excess of $100 million a year, and they buy houses on a mortgage. How happen? Like, how can you make payments when you make $100 million a year? And how many professional athletes have filed bankruptcy? Mike Tyson made over $400 million in his career. It's gone. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar filed bankruptcy twice. I can go on and on with these examples. There are so many examples of athletes that have made like ridiculous amounts of money. Anybody ever heard of Lenny Dykstra? He was really big. I hate to say back in my day. He was a center fielder for the New York Mets, and he ended up in prison trying to make money because he'd gone so broke after signing an incredible contract. Now we hear of some athletes pawning their championship rings or eBaying certain items that they have, just trying to make ends meet. And money didn't solve their problems. Money, it never did. Because here's what happens. If we're making $40,000 a year, you know a lot of us will say, if I could just make $50,000. And we make $50,000, and so you know what we do? We spend $50,000. And if I could just, you know what? I didn't realize $50,000 was going to be there. If I could get to $75,000, so I'm going to go for this promotion, we'll take some extra classes, and we make the $75,000, we get the promotion, and guess what? We just stock up more debt. One of the worst things I ever fell into was not long after getting married was I saw an item in a store, and it had the price tag, and then underneath it, or $15 a month. Well, that was if I took the store credit card. Well, hey, that sounds $15 a month. I can do that. Well, yeah, the first 2 or 3 $15 a month I can do. The next 25 $15 a month I couldn't do very well. Because we do that. We make more and we spend more. We get something and we want something else. And Solomon said in the Bible, he said, the eyes of man are never satisfied. And I've always kind of had this, like I look at guys like Donald Trump or the Microsoft guy, I just went blank. Gates, thank you. Steve Jobs and some of these other people, great entrepreneurs that make ridiculous amounts of money that still get up at 3:30 every morning and work till 8 at night. And I think, why don't they just go play golf, Just go have fun. Go travel the world. You know why? Because enough is never quite enough. We never get to that place of complete satisfaction. Now, I think there is a certain amount of that can be very good. There is also a certain amount of that that can be very destructive. And so you hear this song, Who Says You Can't Get Stoned? And hear this, if you don't know, the author of the song is John Mayer. And it's a beautiful tune. I love the chord progressions and just the easy feeling of it. And when he sings it, he always plays it and kind of bounces on it. And he's just, through this song, I really have gotten to like John Mayer. Watching him play the guitar, he's an incredible musician, very good songwriter, good singer, and he has everything. He has achieved everything he can achieve. He's made